For number 12, we have an AND compound inequality, and for 13, we have an OR. So for the AND, I'm going to draw two lines, one from each inequality. And my goal is to get x by itself here in the center. So I need to get rid of my negative 10 and my 4. So I would add 10 to each section, get a positive 8 less than 4x less than, add, get 16. Okay, still I have that 4 in the middle, so I want to divide by 4 to get rid of the 4's and have x by itself. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. Bring down the less than. Bring down the less than again. Make sure your x is in the center. 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay, so my solution, 2 greater than x greater than 4. On my number line, I want to have an open circle at 2, an open circle at 4, and then we are connecting them. Okay. Okay, for 13, we just solve that inequality, then we solve that one, and we graph it. So here for this one, I would subtract 1 and get 3x is less than or equal to 3. Then I would divide by 3 and get x is less than or equal to 1. Or add 5 to both sides and say 2x is greater than or equal to 12. Divide by 2 and get x is greater than or equal to 6. So this is my solution. I see that they're going opposite directions of each other, which is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put 1 here and 6 here. They're both closed. And I'm drawing the opposite, or away from each other, opposite direction. Okay. For 14, the number got cut off here, but for number 14, it says solve each absolute value equation. So I have the absolute value, so I'm going to say m plus 5 equals 7. And m plus 5 equals negative 7. Remember, we just changed the sign on the last number. We don't change inside of the absolute value when we do our equations. So I would subtract 5 and get 2. Here, if I subtract 5, I would be adding the two numbers and getting negative 12. So my two solutions are 2 and negative 12. Okay, for 15, before I can set up my two equations, I got to get rid of that negative 3 in the front. So I'm going to divide by negative 3, and I have the absolute value of 5d equals negative 5. Now, if I set up my two equations, I don't start with a positive, I start with a negative. And the idea is that this statement is incorrect because the absolute value of anything has to equal a positive number when you actually solve that. So this is a no solution. We cannot actually solve this problem. Okay. And then that is the end of the review. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Make sure you study.